All right. Well, so we're back.
We're back.
We are back. We are back, everybody. We are with Mr. X. Dun, dun, dun.
I might just keep that.
That actually, this might be your new brand, dude. Can you imagine that? Like Mr. X. He's got the X factor. That'd be kind of cheesy.
Yeah, already thinking.
Yeah. So we got Mr. X in the studio. If you don't know who Mr. X is, that means you didn't listen to part 1 of Mr. X and framing up his 90-day challenges. This is the Next 90 with Nick. I am your host, Nick, and this is the challenge-based living lifestyle podcast that helps you level up your life in 90 days at a time, more than you thought possible in 1 to 2 years. And so what we did in the previous podcast is we had Mr. X and we just kind of stripped him down, man. Like, how did that feel? We went through the facts, because in order to understand like that where you want to go, you have to be radically honest about where you are, and you can't be any fluff. And you did a wonderful job of being radically honest. Like, how did that feel to kind of expel that, if you will, and take ownership of it?
I think it allowed me to be present, right? You know, going through that process allows you to, I don't want to say like forgive all the shit that's happened to get you to this point in time,
right?
But what it allowed me to do is be present, be accepting of that, understanding that that's all happened. Right. So let's set the framework going forward for where we want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And understanding where you are, right? Because if you paint it to be better than it is, you're never really gonna like have the desire to change. If you paint it worse than it is, then you're going to be like stuck in this shame and guilt and blame cycle. So what we do is we call it as it is, facts. We don't attach the fucking feelings to it. We know the feelings are there. I could see the feelings were pouring out of you. Just the facts, okay? So just to recap, Mr. X is going to go on a journey with me. He's going to be case study 1. Case study X is what we're calling it. So we're calling him Mr. X. We will reveal his identity, and you'll actually get to see this. We're filming a lot of this at the end of the journey. But what the reason why we're calling him Mr. X is because I don't want you to know who he is. I want you to replace X with your name. And I want you to go back and listen to that podcast and go through the exercises that I went through with Mr. X and get radically honest about where you are in your body, in your being, in your balance, in your business, which is what we call the core 4 being 4-dimensional. And I want him to have personality, but I want, so you can see what's happening in the vulnerability, but I want you to apply it to your life, because this is about him versus him, me versus me, and you versus you. And so we went through his core 4, and just a quick recap of where he is, and you chime in whenever you want. He's active because he has 3 children. But he's not intentionally active. He eats fairly well, doesn't drink, but certainly it doesn't feel power in his body on a day-to-day basis.
Drink socially.
Drink socially.
Yeah, I do drink.
Drink socially. Yeah. Sorry about that, but he drinking to me is like woo, ripping the cover off the ball daily.
Yes.
So he drinks socially. His relationship with his kids is really strong, very active in his life. His day dictates the way he shows up for the children. Good day, he's showing up, a little bit more empowered. Bad day, a little bit more irritable. So we're going to work on that. With his wife, been married for 15 years, together for 20. Kind of unwilling to have some conversations. Hasn't had any intentional conversations around sexual expectations, intimacy expectations. The last time he went on a one-on-one trip was about a year ago for his anniversary. Coming up on 15 years, having sex about once a month, and just life is chaotic with 3 kids going into adolescence.
Yes.
Financially, he's making it happen, but not where he wants to be. Very diligent on saving and that whole plan, but not doing the things that he wants to do financially to spend the time that he wants to spend with his family. And I want to just pause on that really quick to let the audience know is that money doesn't buy you happiness. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but money does give you options, right? Money gives you experiences. Those experiences give you connection, and connection gives you happiness. So money is the tool that can take you to where you want to go to have a real experience, and not worry about the consequences, to allow you to be completely present. So money is important. Agree or disagree?
Oh, absolutely.
And you work in the financial services. You help people prep for their lives, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we're going to do now is, now that we've got that, And look, I can't waste a lot of time like rehashing this stuff. If you're just tuning in now, like stop and go back to Mr. X Part 1 and listen to that episode. Listen to him and his vulnerability, and we break down where he is at, where he wants to go, and we've exposed the gap. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to frame out the next 90 days for you. And what Mr. X is committed to, he's going to write me a $5,000 check. I'm going to hold this $5,000 check. I'm not going to cash the check. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. What I want and I care about is your results. And so the check is representative of your commitment to the results. And you know, $5,000 is a lot of money. Agree or disagree?
Oh, agree.
Okay. And so that would be probably a difficult conversation to have with the wife of why you lost $5,000.
100%.
But what would be the more difficult conversation? The one physically with her, or the internal monologue that you would have to have, knowing that you committed to something publicly and to me and didn't hit it? Like which would be the more challenging conversation?
Oh, internally.
And how long would you carry that for?
Quite a long time. I mean, me cut a check for $5,000, it being cash, not hitting my goals, will spill over into plenty of other things.
Well, but like it's the shame and the guilt and all that kind of stuff. Are your kids worth $5,000?
Very much so.
Is your wife worth $5,000?
Yes, priceless.
Is your physical health worth $5,000?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the $5,000 is literally, I mean, and it might as well be vapor at this point, because like if that is the case, then there's no reason why you shouldn't hit these 90-day targets, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And we're going to talk about this core 4 daily value, which is really cool. You're going to love. Okay, so now we're going to start with the core 4. The core 4 is body, your physical body, what you put in it, and how you treat it every day from a fitness perspective. Being, which is going to be meditation and journaling and trying to like fuel your purpose. Balance, which is your wife and your children. And then business, which is what you bring in and what you take home. And so we're going to go through all of those right now, and we're going to get clear on where you want to go. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, this is 90 days. You're not going to, climb Mount Everest. You're not going to, be on the cover of Men's Fitness. So
yeah.
I'll help you keep it within reach, but it also has to be far enough away that it's scary and exciting.
Yeah,
so,
fair.
what do you like? What would be a body target, that something that you haven't done, that's been in your mind for a while, that you've wanted to do, but you've never done it? And I don't care about the fucking six pack. I don't care about the pecs. Those will be the end result of something that compels you to move forward.
Yeah. That's a tough question. I mean, I've run a marathon, but
did you like it?
No, because the aspect was, injury happened, but I still committed to run it, so I ran it. Even though my longest run was like 13 miles, okay. I couldn't run up to 2 months before, about a month and a half before that actually took place. So, was I in my peak form to take that on? No.
Okay. But what excites you? Like
from a physical perspective?
Yeah.
I think being consistent and driving towards something. I mean, it could be a competition of some sort. What scares me?
There we go. Let's go there.
You want to know what scares me?
Let's go there.
What would scare the absolute crap out of me would be competing in some sort of even short range marathon. The swimming aspect of it scares the crap out of me.
You mean like a triathlon, you mean?
Or yeah, triathlon.
Okay, done. We have our 90-day target. So your 90-day target is to compete in a sprint triathlon, okay? That's going to be it's about a quarter-mile swim. It'll be about a probably 25-mile bike, and it'll be about 4 or 5 mile run. Okay, so there's plenty of sprint triathlons. So that is going to be your body challenge. In 90 days from now, you will have competed in a sprint triathlon. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because did you hear the word that you used there?
Yeah, scared.
Okay. So how do you think you would feel at the end of 90 days having tackled that beast?
I'd feel pretty good.
Yeah. How do you think your kids would look at you coming across the finish line at the end of that 90 days?
Oh, there'd be banners and cheering and jumping up and down.
And how sexy would your wife think you are coming at the end of that?
How sexy? I don't know if sexy is the word.
Come on, man. You gotta own your sex. Own your sex.
I don't know about that. I would say.
Don't you? Would you like your wife to look at you as like?
She'd be pretty pumped. Hey,
my husband's sexy.
My husband My husband just did that. Yeah.
I like being called sexy, man. I mean, I try to, like my wife, she loves Justin Bieber. I'm like, what do I have to do to be sexier than Bieber? So I didn't want the answer.
Well,
but anyway, so we're gonna do that. Okay. So that's your body challenge. So we're gonna just put that there. Okay. So your body challenge is going to be to compete in a sprint triathlon in 90 days from now. Or before 90 days, okay? So we got a 3-month window here.
Okay.
So that means your ass is going to be moving when? Every day. When?
Yes.
Every day. When? Every day. And that's going to be, biking, running, swimming, push-ups, pull-ups. We probably won't even see the fucking gym. We're going to be doing a lot of different things, but like that's the end result, right?
Yeah.
And the work leading up to it is going to, do you believe it'll help you shed pounds?
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
you think it'll help clean up your diet? Even though it's already good.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you think that'll, like, knowing that you have to do that, knowing that you have to get in the water, bike, and run, do you think you're going to get up every single day?
There's no choice other than to.
Or I'll be at the finish line with a $5,000 check.
Yeah.
And I'll buy you lunch.
Well, don't give me a medal. Give me that, and I'll rip it up.
Exactly, and
We'll celebrate.
There we go. We got that on camera. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Like, you're going to run. I'm going to get a giant check. Mark my fucking word. I'm going to get a giant check, and you're going to run through it at the end of the
I'll
of
just kick it. I'll just bust through it.
Yes, and your kids and your wife now are going to be holding it.
Game.
Done. Okay, so that's the target. The target is the outcome. The outcome is I will compete in a sprint triathlon before 90 days. So go ahead and say that.
I will compete in a sprint triathlon before 90 days.
Perfect. Boom. All right, so that's good. That was easy. Now let's go to a more challenging one. Being. Actually, I'm gonna skip over being because that takes a little bit longer sometimes. So I'm gonna go to balance, which is your wife and your children. I specifically want to focus on your wife for this one. The kids will be will be a little bit easier than your wife. So what do you think is something that you want and or desire with your wife that can be accomplished in 90 days? And don't give me some generic bullshit seminar answer like I want a deeper connection with her. Like, that will be the end result of something that we do together.
Yeah. I would say our time together on purpose, away from everything else.
Okay.
That could be, everything from a walk to on purpose dates, to me dating my wife, to me getting back, letting her know that, hey, I desire you, I'm chasing you, I love you, and getting back to that mode consistently on purpose. Not just because I screwed up and I've got to make it up to you.
Yep.
That would be.
All right. So you had said in the previous podcast that it'd been over a year since the two of you had spent time alone with no kids or anything like that, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how about this? What if we did a staycation at the end of 90 days? Okay. So let's imagine that you're done with the triathlon. And as a celebration, you and your wife are going to go away for just 2 days. Like, because I know sometimes with the kids, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Do you think you could pull this off?
I think we could.
No. Do you think you could pull it off? Not we. Like, you're going to be the one.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You're going to.
Let's reframe. I can pull that off.
Perfect. And so you're going to be the one that plans this. You're going to be the one that because a lot of times as men, we put all the shit on our wife. Like, oh, you find the babysitter, you find the place. No, not happening here. You're going to plan it. You're going to arrange for childcare for those 3 boys.
Okay.
You might have to get 2 different people so you don't burn them out. You're going to pick what you're going to do while you're there. Dinners, reservations, all that kind of stuff, and that could be done pretty easily, right? And it may not all line up, by the way. It may not line up exactly with your triathlon or whatever. So we'll have to look at that, and you and I will go over that as time progresses. So that's the outcome. Now what's gonna have to happen in the lead up is if you really want that deep connection with your wife, is there's gonna have to be a series of seduction that's going to happen. And I'm not just talking like sexual seduction. I'm talking like emotional seduction, So the easiest thing that you can do is give her a deposit to every single day. Like you want her to know that you desire her. You want her to know that you love her. You want her to know that you honor and appreciate her. The easiest way to do that is fucking tell her. And don't tell her like, hi. Like,
yeah, as I'm heading out to the office in the morning.
Yeah, no. Like every single day, what you're going to do and I'm going to give you one of my hacks that I just dropped in the podcast today. In fact, that dropped today is every day you're going to make a deposit to her, and it's not a sexual deposit. You're going to make a love deposit, and you're going to send her an email, a text message, a video, a picture with a message, a card. Not all of those things, a Post-it note, but I think for simplicity and being that this is your first 90-day challenge, do you think that you could send your wife a text message every single day with one thing that you loved about her?
Yeah.
Every single day, 7 days a week. Do you think you can do that? Could you commit to that?
She deserves that. That's something that's going to zero to here. I mean, it sounds so simplistic. It's so funny. I'm even like thinking about it. Can I send a text to my wife every day telling her something specific that I love about her?
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. I should be able to do that.
Okay. So it's going to get weird. Trust me. Okay. It's going to get weird in the beginning. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Where is this coming from? And you're just going to tell her, you're going to say, hey, look, like I just be honest with her. Like, every single day, I want to be intentional about something I love about you. And so this is what I'm doing. Every single day, like, I'm going to send you this because I want you to know. And I want to take time out of my day to pause, to think about you, think about our relationship, and I want to send this message to you. So you're going to do that, right? Every single day. Send her a text message. Hey babe, and it could be something like, don't overthink it. I don't want fucking the Declaration of Independence here. Like, I would just want like, hey love, like my wife will be like, I loved like the way like those yoga pants looked on you today. Like, you were so beautiful and I'm so attracted to you. Have an amazing day. I love you. Do.
Yeah.
And I send it, in the process, like, I actually start to like seduce myself.
Yeah.
About like, wow, like, I like the way she looks.
Yeah.
Like
she's your
she
girl.
Smells. Yeah. Like I mean, it's like flirting again. Like, imagine how much energy you poured into her when you guys were first like dating.
That'd be another podcast. The amount of stuff and creativity and the things that I did.
So do you think that guy died?
We're beyond.
Do you think that guy died?
I think he's in there. But
of course he's fucking in there because he's you, and then we're gonna bring him back. But we're not gonna. We're gonna bring him back slowly.
Yeah.
So the only thing that we're gonna do is commit to 7 days a week.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Like, you're just gonna be intentional about it, and you're gonna copy it and you're gonna paste it onto your notes. Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Every single day. Send the text messages. It takes you all of 30 fucking seconds. Like one less picture on Instagram, like, don't tie your shoe for a second. Like, it's literally that long. And it's so stupid that we don't take this time to be intentional with our loved ones.
Agreed.
Do your kids all have devices?
Oldest does. 2 younger just strictly via Wi-Fi.
Okay. Because I was going to say you can do the same thing for the children. So we're going to get to the children in a second. But so with the wife, you're going to copy and paste this, right? Then we got 12 weeks. So we'll set the calendar, and the calendar will start Monday to give you some time to kind of mentally digest this. Today is a Friday. You're not listening to this on a Friday probably, but today is a Friday. So we're going to start on Monday.
Okay.
And then so you have 12 weeks, and in that 12 weeks, you're going to go on. I'm gonna set it so you can actually hit it. Normally I'd push it more, but you're gonna go on 7 dates in 12 weeks.
Okay.
7 dates with you and the wife. So that means childcare, means out to eat, hiking, golfing, just you and her, right? And you're not gonna be on your phone. And so text messages every day, and 7 dates with a trip planned. And you're gonna drop that trip on her in the next 2 weeks. Like,
fair.
Hey babe, I'm going to take you here. We got childcare, blah, 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 blah. You might have to get her input, but you're going to make it happen regardless. If she starts to wiggle out of it, nope, that's not happening. So text message every single day, 7 dates with a staycation for 2 days somewhere in the local area.
Yeah.
That's not going to break the bank and or stress you out. Okay?
I will.
Perfect. Now, what do you think might happen if you're texting your wife something you're attracted to her about, you love about her every single day, and you're going on a date 7 times in 12 weeks? Do you think you might get laid a little bit more?
I think that'll take care of itself.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to focus on having sex. Sex will be the end result of the target that you set, which is to do these things. And then every date, you're going to take a selfie with her. You're going to just take a selfie with her. And then you're going to take all those notes that you have, all those text messages. You're going to copy and paste it into a Word doc, and you're going to insert the pictures, throughout the thing. And you're just going to write her a letter and say, babe, I want you to have this. This is a love journal of the last 90 days together, and these are 90 things that like I love, honor, and appreciate about you, and I'm so glad that you've come with me on this journey. And you're going to present that to her at the staycation at the end of this. Okay?
I see it.
Are we clear?
I can see it.
Yep. And no matter how weird it gets, do not fucking stop. Like, don't. That's the problem with everybody, myself included, is that we stop when we're not getting that immediate result, that immediate gratification. We stop.
Yeah.
But you didn't run that marathon by going out and doing it 26.2 miles day one. You started with 2 miles, and then you went 3 miles, and you went 4 miles and 5 miles. I know you said you had some injury, but like you had a plan, you had a path. Same thing with this. So don't stop. And even if she says, Kyle, why are you doing this? Say, babe, I really I desire to be closer to you. Yeah. I desire to be more intimate with you. And I want you to know daily that I'm taking time. And you remind her of it. You think she's going to say no?
No.
She's going to love it. She's going to feel weird at first because it's like outside of the normal path.
Yeah.
But like you're going to fall in love with the process. I trust you. So we're doing a sprint triathlon. You're going to run through a giant check at the end. And you are going to do 90 messages in 90 days, like 90 messages in 90 days. I'm going to ask you all the time, and I'm going to have to ask you to sometimes send it to me so I can see it. And then you're going to book a staycation, and you're going to present this love journal to her at the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With the boys, I would say start with some Post-it notes and just leave them like a message on their door every day. Hey, Dad loves you. Go kill it, champ. Get an A today or something like that. Mm-hmm. Just do something like that with them. And then how much time do you get with just them and not without the wife? Like an overnight.
With my two younger, quite a bit. With my older son, not as much because I'm not coaching him right now.
Okay.
So there's certain times, after school playing basketball between practices where I spend some time. But I talked to him recently saying because of this, leading up to this, It just made me think about some of those aspects, right? Okay. Your core four and that. And I talked to him about doing breakfast on a weekly basis.
Okay.
He's 13 years old.
Perfect. So you're gonna have 7 breakfasts. You're gonna have 7 dates with the oldest, and you're gonna have seven dates with the. Actually, this might be too much. So
I think with my oldest, we can tackle that. I think with the other guys, it'll be my time with them that's there, but just being intentional about conversation, everything else.
Perfect. We're gonna like kind of eat this elephant one bite. I don't want to give you too much to where
I hear you
feel overwhelmed. So let's just take it down to you're gonna do 6 breakfasts with your oldest, and then you're going to take 1 day for the other 2 that you're just going to spend a half a day with them individually. They need individual time. They need that one-on-one time. Okay?
Yeah.
So we got the balance. You're pretty clear on that, right? And you're gonna send me a recap of this, and we're gonna commit to it, and we're gonna sign a little agreement, and we'll formalize all this. But we're trying to get through this so the audience can hear how this works. Okay, and then business wise, okay, how much money do you desire to make in a quarter, and then how much money do you desire to? I mean, do you have a gross and a take home? Because I know you have some expenses, right, in the office and stuff like that.
Yeah. So for me, business wise, it's been one of those. It's like a feast or famine, right? I probably operate my business. The analogy, I guess I would say like a pirate ship, right?
Okay.
When everything's full and the rum is filled up, we're rocking and rolling. But we don't realize that once it's all gone, well, crap, we got to go get some more food and rum.
Right.
So there's extreme peaks and valleys in my business that way.
So how do we level that out? How do we keep it all peaks?
It's consistency, regardless of what's flowing through. It's being consistent on a daily basis, and I've had good years, and then the air gets left out, transition to the next year, and then it's a good year, air gets left out, transition to the next year.
Do you think does that have any direct correlation with your motivation, drive, desire?
It has, all this stuff comes together.
Okay, cool.
100%.
So I'm going to teach you the core 4. Okay, I'm going to teach you the core 4. Don't have time to do it right now, but like you and I are going to go into the core 4. I'm going to give it to the audience in bites because it's like literally drinking from the fire hose. But I'm going to show you a formula, a mathematical formula, gamified every single day that you can understand, like if you're operating in power and if you're not. Like if you show up in power, does your business produce?
Typically, yes.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. So what would be like, hey, if I made this amount of money in 90 days, like that would be a fucking stretch, but I could get there if I really like hustle. Because I know some of your stuff, like it takes time to build, right? Pipeline wise.
Yeah. If I made God, $50,000, it doesn't, I mean.
It's so funny. I had that number in my head.
$50,000 in 90 days. I mean.
Okay, cool. So 50K is the target. Okay. 50K is the target for 90 days. That's the target. We may come up short. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, what if you hit 42? Would you be?
Still pretty pumped.
Yeah, right. So that's what, like, I want people to understand that, like, we may not always arrive directly at the target, but we're gonna get pretty close. You know, it's like the difference of a bullseye and actually hitting the target, or hitting the outside of the target, as opposed to just completely fucking missing and just shooting everywhere, hoping to hit. So 50K is the goal. All right, so cool. Like we're almost done here with our 90-day targets, right? So we've got compete in a sprint triathlon at the end of 90 days. I love it. Compete at the 90 days, the sprint triathlon. We're going to go on a staycation with the wife and present her a love journal, which is a 90 days of text messages of things that we're going to stick with, text messages that we love. 7 dates where we take selfies. Like, you're going to have to be intentional about these. You're going to have to set the time, which means you're going to have to kick ass a little bit more in business, you know, because you're going to need a little bit extra money to pull all this off. And you're going to need to, like, make sure that you're efficient with your time while you're at work, so you can go and be present on date night. You can go on these dates with these kids that we've committed to and actually have it all. Okay. Now, in order to manage all of this, we're going to come back to being. And then the one thing that I want you to practice every single day is meditation. And it sounds like you've got it. Like you said, you do it 10 minutes a day. And we're just going to start with that, right? We're going to start with the 10 minutes a day. And then when you're done meditating, I just want you to have a journal. I'm happy to buy you one, give you one, if you don't already have one. And I just want you to write down like what was your insight for that? You know, what was your insight for that 90 days? Okay, and then we're gonna do 90 entries of that, and that's just gonna be our balance. That's it. We're not gonna go. Our being. And I think what's going to happen is that's going to continue to keep it all into a singular focus for you. It's going to keep you calm. It's going to keep you present. It's going to keep you reflective. You know, so that is the core 4. So so every day you're going to have to do something in all of those realms that are going to push you towards your target. And you and I are going to check in, you know, weekly, but we'll do benchmarks at 30 days and 60 days, and we'll course correct if you're off.
Okay.
So the first things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find the triathlon, book the triathlon. We have to look at some dates and, like, you know, figure out more or less where you're going to go for your balance outcome. We're going to have to look at, like, what it looks like reverse engineering that 50K. How many clients does that look like? How many do we need to prospect? How many do we currently have in the pipeline? Mm-hmm. And we're going to get on all of that. And then for the being, we're just going to pick up meditation daily. And we're going to journal every single day, and then you're just going to publish, like, whether it's to your wife or to me or to somebody, like, those thoughts. And you're gonna read through all those thoughts over 90 days, and you're gonna just, like, come up with, like, a 1-page, like, this is my journey over the last 90 days, and it's gonna talk about your journey towards the triathlon finish line. And at the end of all of this, you're gonna run through this giant fucking $5,000 foam check that's just gonna shatter, and we're gonna, like, hold up a mirror and show you that version of you. And then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna check in and we're gonna see how you feel. How do you feel?
Let's go.
How do you feel, though? How do you really feel? Are you scared?
Yeah, it's a bit, I mean.
A little butthole puckering going on?
As you say that, it's tightening up. I would say, I mean, it gives me purpose to be driving every day in a certain time frame, to have urgency.
Are you nervous?
Am I nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Are you nervous to let yourself down?
Yeah, because I've done that so many times in the past.
Okay. What if that was not true? Like, what if like it just was impossible for you to let yourself down?
I feel amazing.
Okay. Like, how do you think you'd feel in your marriage at the end of this?
We've been through so much as is. It gives us one where we're, thriving going forward no matter what versus surviving.
Do you think this would be a process that you could like rinse and repeat if you got if you got all those outcomes?
100%.
And do you think you could push for bigger targets if you hit these ones?
Absolutely.
Do you think that you would love yourself more at the end of 90 days if all those things happened?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's all we need. That's all we need. We need the intention, the desire, and the ruthless commitment. And then good thing for you is you have me to kick you in the dick if you ever get off track. And I'm going to it's love, but it's going to be tough love at times. It's going to be, we're going to get through this. And I'm going to give you some tools that the audience doesn't necessarily have right now, but I'm going to give to them over the formative future here. They're going to help you. And my goal is to help you win. And like I told you earlier before we got on this, I'm going to come 90. Nick's going to come 90. I need Mr. X to come 10. And all you have to do is every single day just do something. We're not going for home runs. We're going for singles. We're doing a sprint triathlon. We're doing we're sending a text message for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then you will never ever possess the skills or abilities to quote unquote have it all. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, so I want you to put your feet on the floor again, and I want you to. We're going to set your intention one last time before we sign off here, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath in, and release. Take a deep breath in, number 2, and release. Deep breath number 3 in. Hold it. And release, and would still keep your eyes closed. I just want you to set your intention. I want you to understand the things that you just told me and you told the world, but more importantly, that you told yourself, that you told to your family, even though they can't hear it. I want you to look at each one of your children in the eyes, in your mind's eye, and I want you to tell them what daddy's going to do in 90 days. And go one by one looking into their eyes. You might have to crouch down. You're going to hold their face. You're going to get real close, and you're going to tell them what daddy's going to do. Then you're going to look at your wife, and you're just going to tell her. And she's going to believe you because, the way you're telling her is like you've never told her before. And she's going to, that belief is going to drive your belief that you're going to do this. Then you're going to step in front of the mirror. Then you're going to see that man that you saw 90 days from now, and you're going to tell him, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. I'm coming. And he's going to smile real big. And he's going to say, I know you are. I know you are. The two of you are going to shake hands. And he's going to say, go get him. And you're going to say, how do I do it? He's going to smile again. He's going to say, one goddamn day at a time. One day at a time. I don't care about tomorrow. I care about right now. I care about the things that you're going to do today. And you're going to do those things. I want you to see yourself doing those things. I want you to see yourself crossing that finish line of the triathlon, running through my giant check. I want you to see your boys so happy and running up and hugging you all over you. And I want you to see your wife just standing there confident and proud, just with a big smile on her face, ready to ravish you. And I want you to see you going on dates with her and taking those selfies. And I want you to see the messages, pouring into the text about how much you love, honor, and appreciate her. I want you to see her looking at those messages and what it's going to do for her and her confidence and what's it going to do for your connection. And then I want you to wrap all of that power, and I want you to go into the boardroom or go into the sales calls. I want you to see you just smashing through your targets. I want you to see you taking that check. I want you to see what your bank account looks like with an extra $50,000 in it. And then I want you to think what you're going to do with that $50,000. You can take the kids on a vacation. You're going to do something for you. Then I just want you to understand now that you are that man that you just saw in the mirror. Even as you sit here right now. You just have to let him out. You just have to let him out. That's it. So I want you to sit in that for just 5 seconds. I want you to take a deep breath in. and release. Number 2 in and release. And number 3 in and release. And then open your eyes when you're ready. Yes. I fucking see it. I see it, dude. I believe it. You're getting emotional. I'm getting emotional. I feel it. You feel that? You feel it? Talk to me. Talk to me. Yeah. It feels good, right? Feel like hope?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You feel alive? I'm fucking proud of you, man. I love you. And I believe in you. And I know you believe in you. And your kids believe in you. And your wife believes in you. And we're going to do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Whew. That's all I got, man. Fuck. That's all I got. I mean, it's there. And you're gonna like, this will be, if you breathe this in and you own this will be a pivotal point of your life. And you will remember this day. You will remember this moment. We both will. And we'll just build on this shit. And Mr. X will have that X factor that he already has, that's already inside of him.
Yeah.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to own the next 90?
Let's do it.
Tell everybody I'm going to own my next 90.
I'm going to own my next 90.
Say, I am Mr. X, and I'm going to own my next 90.
Mr. X, that is me, and I will own the next 90.
All right, everybody. No shameless plug for the website today. You know what that shit is. Head over there, put in your email, get this gap map, and make sure you own the next 90. We're out.